Hey, I'm here with another episode of Modded Survival Minecraft here, and I'm going to start it off by grabbing my 3 backpacks with tons of storage in them, and then adventuring off in the Aether. I know that there's some Aether dungeons and stuff that I have not found yet and have been meaning to explore, but I did take a quick detour and enchant all of my Gravitite tools for the Aether. Once that was done, I also put mending on them and then headed back to the Aether to find something good. And here I actually did find a Colosseum sky deal with these big pillars outside, and believe me, this thing had so much loot. There were chests everywhere and they're just handing it out for free pretty much. So I was grabbing so much loot and putting it in all of my backpacks. The only things I had to fight off were these mimic chests and then these Valkyrie, but I was pretty strong with all my Gravitite gear, so it was not really much of a task. Once I killed enough of these Valkyrie guys too, they gave me 8 to 10 victory medals that I needed to do to fight this Valkyrie Queen. Once I started swinging at her, she was going crazy and flying around the room, but too bad that I've got endgame armor, so I was just piecing her up until I finally beat her and got this silver key. With the silver key, I did the same thing as past Aether dungeons and was able to unlock a treasure chest with tons of loot in it. Lucky for me, I kept finding all these sky pillar dungeons one after another. They're pretty easy to find. They stood out a ton, and so here's me just beating 2 more. This one actually had a Gravitite sword and a bunch of new loot in it, and then this one was actually the first tier of dungeon, but I'm fighting it again with another location because of how much loot there was. Finally, I beat him up with my Gravitite pickaxe and had a bronze key, and here's some treasure. On my way home from the Aether, I found a sunken ship. This had a buried treasure map for me, and before I was able to track that down, I found some more loot, but wasn't very good. Then here I am, I found the sunken treasure and got some good stuff here. And then I went back to this office space that had been reserved for me, and I actually just put down a bunch of random things all over the place, thinking that it would look good, and I'll show you the final result in a minute, but yeah, there's all kinds of cool beautify blocks and items here for me to set out, and so I took full advantage of that, and it actually inspired me to do some more interior decorating at my own house because that thing's been pretty empty for a while now. But yeah, this was very fun, and I had all kinds of items to work with, and I think I'm pretty happy with the final result. It definitely took a little bit of work here, but here it is. One of the things I do like about this room is being able to put item frames and just random loot that I'm getting from all of these Aether dungeons on the walls. Definitely will continue to do some more of that in the future at my own base. And then here's the outside. Back at the Bison Ranch, the one I've been working on a little bit here, it just was so frustrating for me to comprehend how I was going to make this look good. I just couldn't figure it out, but then I took a break and went and explored a special surprise that a guy on the server had for me, and here's a funny moment where he just ran right into my car. But yeah, he had made an airport with a terminal and airplanes, and he even made me my own banana plane, but not before he showed me this whole Boeing 747 that he made himself. We took off and went all the way across the water to a secret location that I didn't even know where we were going. Turns out, believe it or not, it was actually all the way to my Bison Ranch. He made a landing pad right next to the ranch, so I will be able to make this a real location with an airport, which I thought was really fun, and that gave me even more motivation to start working on something. So here I am, just mining blocks, and this took a lot of time. I'm going to be honest. Here, just for fun, I put down quite a bit of TNT just to see if that would help speed up the process, which I don't really think it did much, but it was still fun to mess around with. What I was planning on doing was totally terraforming this entire piece of land for my bison ranch. And here is the final result. It took way too many hours, I'll be honest, but after I finished, I was pretty happy with it. It was just all one big flat piece of land, and now I could start breeding up bison to be all over the place. Here I made some hanging canvas signs for the front of the ranch, which I was just going to make a little archway here with some gates that have staircases that leads down to the terminal. And here is the final result. That's going to be this episode. Thanks so much for watching, and look forward to more in the future.